These 5 chefs all want to become the next professional MasterChef champion. Today, they face their first challenge. 3 tests set by chef Monica Galetti, seasoned diner Gregg Wallace, and 2 Michelin-starred British chef Marcus Waring.
Cooking for Marcus Waring is a dream come true. I mean, he's probably the most feared and respected chef in the country, really.
If you're putting yourself out there to be judged, you have to give it your best.
You can always be confident, but you don't know what's going to happen on national TV.
Only the best will make it through to the quarter-final.
Talent always shines through, stands out, cream always rises to the top.
Mediocrity is no friend of professional MasterChef. You either go for it or you go home. Welcome to Professional MasterChef. Your job is simple. Prove that you have got real talent. You need to impress the chefs either side of them.
Today's my first day, as it is yours. I'm also nervous. You know my expectations. I love great food. I love precision. I love great flavour.
Your first test is to cook your signature dish. A statement of intent.
Focus on what you're here to do. You've put yourselves here for a reason. Show us why you are here.
At the end of this, one of you will be out of the competition. 1 hour, first impression, your signature dish. Off you go. Good luck.
I am currently a head chef at a 4-star 2 Rosette Hotel in the heart of Suffolk. Started off my career in Suffolk and then ended up in Australia at a seafood restaurant, and then Taunton, where I worked in a 1 Michelin star restaurant, and then came back to my roots here in Suffolk. I feel very lucky. I actually come to work every morning excited. I love being on the stove. I love the heat, I love the burns, I love everything about it. I'm going to be able to draw on all my experiences from all the places I've worked.
Service, please.
Hopefully help me on my journey through MasterChef.
Justin, first impressions of our competition?
I'm really excited to be here. Really happy to meet the main man, Marcus himself. Really good.
Can I ask you what it is you're going to make?
Pan-fried halibut with cauliflower and parmesan puree, roasted cucumber, and then a chicken jus to go with that as well.
OK, and are you happy with the dish?
The main thing is that you're going to be happy with that. I'm happy with it. I hope you're happy with it. That's what I'm hoping for, so yeah.
Justin, you're making a chicken jus?
Yep.
Have you got enough time?
I hope I have. It's going to be tight. I wanted to push myself, so yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be enough time.
This is a big journey. Are you ready?
Hopefully, yes.
Is he strapped in?
Oh, yeah. Are you?
Good luck, Justin.
Thank you very much.
Justin, sounds like a really interesting dish. Roast halibut. Parmesan puree. Chicken jus. Sort of surf and turf-like in a way.
I want to see a good sauce. He's got a lot of chicken bones in there. Hopefully he really gets the time to infuse and get a good sauce out of this dish.
Jus in an hour. That's going to take some going. Love the bacon bit. The fact he's going to cook it, dry it out, and use it as a seasoning, I think is a very clever idea.
Currently head chef of the little seafood cafe just in the little back streets of Aberdeen City. Little local business. Going 10 years, but going strong. Customers know a lot more about their food than when I started training. They're not as scared to try things, you know. People don't want cod and chips anymore. It's the creativity. That's what gets me up and keeps me driving forward. You can dedicate your whole life to learning this craft, but there's always that hunger to learn something new. That's just thirst for knowledge, I suppose.
Brian, tell me how far you're going to go on MasterChef.
Oh, who knows? It's very early doors. I'd like to go quite far. I have a goal set in my head, and as long as I get there, anything else is a bonus.
All right, well, why did you apply?
Challenge myself against some of the best chefs in the country, see how far I can go.
Tell us about your dish.
I work in a seafood restaurant, so I'm going to go fish. So it's red pepper escalates with cod, langoustines and crab, and then an avocado puree as well.
Is this at your skill level, or is this slightly more ambitious than you would normally cook?
Maybe a little bit safe, but I don't want to trip up on the first hurdle, so I think it's about getting it spot on today.
I see where you're coming from. You're trying not to overcomplicate it. Keep your head down, work hard, work fast, and we see what you put up.
Cheers.
Brian is using cod, langoustine and crab with a red pepper escabeche. Escabeche is usually a very flavoursome stock fused with saffron, classically. He's infusing his with red peppers, so it's a different take on it. I hope it works and he has a good balance of flavours.
The fish, salt, both sides. That's going to draw all of that moisture out of that fish. The fish could come out quite dry. It could just ruin the whole dish.
You're halfway.
I'm the head chef of a pub just outside of Halifax. We're a big place. On a single day, with the outside seating, we could do over 600-700. My brother is 3 years older than me. He was a chef in a local restaurant. Then obviously get me his job as a pot wash. I love doing what I'm doing now. I love having the finger on the pulse of everything that's happening. Like, I love doing the fine dining, I love doing the banqueting, I love doing the functions. But eventually, because my wife is in the trade as well, I love our own little restaurant, fine dining restaurant.
What are you cooking, Mark?
Wild garlic crusted rack of lamb, shepherd's pie.
I love shepherd's pie. I'm a Lancashire lad.
I'm a Lancashire lad.
Are you? OK. Well, you should know how a shepherd's pie is made, and it's one of my favourites.
Hopefully I can do it justice.
What's different about the shepherd's pie? Or are you just staying with the classic?
It's kind of classic. There's a little few ingredients there that just give it a little bit of a different taste to it, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
I think it sounds fantastic.
Thank you, Greg. Let's hope so.
Massive fan of shepherd's pie. What I'm going to be looking for is the potato puree. It's got to be smooth for me, nicely caramelised on top.
He's cooking the racks to go on the side with it.
He's marinated it in the sous vide bag into the water bath. That will give it a nice even colour all the way through. Sounds like a great dish.
I've worked in quite a few kitchens up and down the country, anywhere from 2 to 4 rosettes. You know, I've worked in Michelin star kitchens. Currently working as a head chef in a small country house hotel in the Lake Districts. Cumbria is my home, and that's why I've moved back here. To be back home and cooking the food I enjoy cooking.
How do you deal with the pressure, Darren?
Not very well at the minute.
If you don't calm down, you're going to get yourself all the way to a coronary.
You're shaking, aren't you?
Yeah, sure.
You get yourself into the zone.
Chef.
You've not come all this way to lose it now.
Chef.
Enjoy yourself. We're looking for happy food. Most importantly, what are you making?
I'm doing quail and then carrot and hazelnut salad, so it's different textures of carrot.
Quail. It's quite a delicate meat, though.
It's very delicate.
You've got to treat it with some tender love and care.
Yeah, sure.
Remember, enjoy yourself.
I'm trying, chef.
Makes me tired looking at him. Quail. He's taken it off the bone. He's putting the 2 breasts together. That's going to batten crepinette, so that's going to protect the bird from the pan. The question is, how is he going to know if it's cooked through the centre?
He's got different types of techniques going on to prepare his carrot. He's got jellies. pickles. He's got to keep steady. You don't want shaking hands to mess this up for him now.
I just hope the nerves don't beat him.
You've got 20 minutes left.
Mum used to be a chef. Great-granddad was a master patissier on cruise ships in the 60s, and my great-great-granddad had his own abattoir and butchers. I work in a hotel restaurant on Norfolk coast, serving modern cuisine, using modern techniques. I'm a sous chef, currently running the kitchen in the head chef's absence. It's a good feeling when you see your dish on the menu that you've created. When you get good comments back from customers, you feel as if you're doing your job right.
Service!
If I could get myself to a Michelin star level, it would be fantastic.
How you doing, Chef? Is it all going to plan?
No, a few little nerves kicking in, but something that I've practiced. Cockles that I get, it's literally just 3 miles down from where I work. It's mackerel that we get locally off the coast, and an orange beurre blanc. I really do trust the flavours that I've put into this dish, and I just want to present to you a really nice, clean dish. Hopefully you'll like.
All right, Ollie, head down.
Thank you.
Ollie's making us a dish with mackerel, textures of fennel and an orange beurre blanc.
I love mackerel. I think it's a great flavoured fish. It's what you put with it. Is he going to be using the stock from the cockle? Well, you know as well as I do, that's a beautiful flavour. Is he going to be incorporating that into the dish? Beurre blanc, it's a very safe sauce to make. He's had his oranges into it. Normally, you know, we finish it with a little bit of lemon juice. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just looking for a little bit more.
Right, listen, last 10 minutes. Please, last 5.
Aberdeen chef Brian's signature dish is roast cod served on a red pepper escabeche, with deep-fried potato-wrapped langoustine, crab salad, and an avocado puree.
That looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's as fresh as a bright summer's morning. Look at it. It's lovely. God, you chefs are a miserable bunch. You know that. You know that. Poker-faced, a lot of you.
I was concerned about the seasoning of the fish, and you actually kept the moisture inside. It's very moist, it's very nice. The puree of the avocado, I'm really pleased you've managed to retain the colour. Very, very easy for that to discolour almost within minutes. But I think langoustines are just one of those ingredients that just are perfect. You certainly don't need to wrap them in potato.
At this level of cooking, chef, peel the pepper. You've got an oven in there, you can roast them off and remove that skin.
What is a pepper and an avocado doing on there? They are foreign bodies in an otherwise beautiful Northern European fish dish.
Okay. It's obviously not worked out quite as well as I had planned, but let's say there was more positives than negatives, so try not to beat myself up too much.
For his signature dish, 33-year-old Justin has cooked roast halibut, a cauliflower and parmesan puree with seared cucumber, a roast chicken jus, and a bacon and crispy chicken skin crumb.
There are errors in this dish. You've left the bloodline on the fish. That's sloppy, to be really honest with you, Justin. One of the most irritating things I find in a kitchen chef who can't be bothered to do such a basic thing and to think about the dish. But there is an upside. I think the puree is delicious. It's smooth, it's light, it's elegant, and it tastes of what you said it is. You know, it's the cauliflower coming through and the parmesan. I really like that. It's the best part of the dish for me.
Justin, you showed that you can cook. I'm impressed that you managed to make a jus in the time that you had. I've watched you work. I like the way that you're organised. You've kept it tidy throughout.
Mate, you do flavour. Love the jus, love the fish, love the chicken skin. Don't quite understand what your big bunch of herbs is doing on there, or your cucumber.
Or the bloodline, sorry. I did enjoy it. It was very good, you know. You get to cook for Marcus Weir, and he said some positive things about my cooking. You know, what more could you want, really?
Yorkshire chef Mark has made wild garlic crusted rack of lamb and a mini shepherd's pie, served with spinach puree and baby garden vegetables.
Are you happy with the presentation as a whole?
No.
No, because I'm not. You know, your sauce all over the plate like that is not nice. You can always serve a sauce on the side.
That's disappointing. I really was hoping that the shepherd's pie would have a nice glazed crust on the top. The sauce inside is a little bit runny, lacks flavour, and tastes very bland. But there is an upside to this, and it's the lamb. It really is delicious, and it's very tender as well, which I really like. So the centrepiece of the dish is excellent.
Mark, I have to say, your puree you can see is grainy. It should be very, very smooth. The carrots are undercooked. The peas are raw.
I kind of got to agree with these guys. Love the herb-crusted lamb, disappointed by the shepherd's pie.
There could be a million one excuses, but just wasn't good enough on the day. Pretty disappointed, to be honest.
Next up is 33-year-old chef Darren.
You stopped shaking yet, mate?
No.
He has made roasted ballotine of quail breast and confit quail legs, served with textures of carrot, jellied, pureed and pickled, with toasted and shaved hazelnuts.
That's delicious. That is really good. It's got a great flavour, great balance. You've really surprised me.
Thank you.
You really have. The quail, the taking off the bone and putting it together, wrapping it in crepinette. Sometimes it can become very dry on the outside and sort of slightly undercooked or overcooked in the centre. I think you've done a really good job of that. The carrots, these are Mother Nature's ingredients. Our job as chefs is to bring out that natural flavour of food. And I think you've done that really well. It's a fresh dish. It's a really light dish. It's got a lovely, delicate touch, even from someone that shakes as much as you, Darren.
Thank you.
When people say they have textures or something, I tend to get a bit worried. But what you have here is some carrot pickled, some carrots that have just been cooked naturally, and your jelly, and it all works well with the quail. It's a very good plate of food.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
How a shaking man cooks like that, I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens when you calm down.
Thank you.
Great job.
I'm just really nervous. It's not every day you get to cook for one of your idols. I knew there was a few mistakes. You know, hopefully I can iron them out and start doing some faultless food.
25-year-old Ollie has made grilled mackerel served with roasted fennel and fennel shavings, asparagus, Norfolk cockles, and an orange beurre blanc.
Beautifully presented dish, Ollie. Nice and colourful. The whole thing just lifted off the plate with the butter sauce. The fish beautifully cooked, and I'm so pleased that the fennel underneath is easy to cut through. Not a big fan of a beurre blanc. There's too much orange. It's got potential, but it's not quite there.
I have to say the orange, yes, it is very overpowering because you do have some very delicate flavours. But as a whole, it's not a complete write-off. You've shown you can cook vegetables and show a lot of respect for what you have in here. Okay? Yep.
I thought I was going to dislike that orange juice a lot. I find that absolutely delicious. Thank you, Ollie.
had a little beating heart. It's a little surreal, you know, that I've been able to present them a dish, you know, that I've created. A couple of little tweaks, but on a whole, I am happy with what I produced.
That was a great round. Some talented chefs here today. Some nerves, some issues with the plates, but I think overall, not a bad round.
Good start. I enjoyed it.
It's not easy to get your knife and fork in when there's three of us, but I managed.
Darren was really nervous in the beginning, yet he gave us the best plate.
I agree. I would never, ever have expected that dish to come out of him. And he put it in front of us, it was like a bit of sunshine, and I thought that was brilliant.
We can say with some certainty, Darren is a very good chef and he goes through.
Yes.
Yes.
My job means a lot to me and I've got a lot to prove, so hopefully keep shaking and see how far we get.
Young Ollie, his orange beurre blanc was a touch on the strong side, but I think overall, this young chef's got a lot of possibilities.
I thought he executed some of the dish well. He's young, he's new to all of this, and I think that he's got huge potential.
Ollie?
Ollie.
This is going really well.
On a whole, I am happy with what I produced. I just want to take it all in and improve myself as a chef and as a person.
What about Brian? Did cod, crab, langoustine, pepper, avocado?
I thought the crab salad he had was very well made. It was nicely seasoned. With the avocado, it was bright and green.
It's got great presentation, a decent touch, but a little sloppy.
I'd be very disappointed to go at this stage. Yeah, definitely not ready to go yet.
Can I suggest a name now? Justin. Just for the ability to create beautiful flavour. That halibut dish with the chicken skin was lovely.
I think the dish was a great idea. Loved the cauliflower puree, the parmesan, but that bloodline was a fundamental, massive error. And people don't necessarily like to eat congealed, cooked blood, and you shouldn't have left it on. It's not nice, it's not very pleasant.
Of course, you want to go through, you know, you want to keep testing yourself. You know, obviously under a lot of pressure, but it's, you know, it's good to be under pressure.
Mark and his shepherd's pie. I loved his rack of lamb with herb crust. You liked it. Marcus, you liked it?
I did, yep. But the shepherd's pie was a disaster for me. He let himself down there. He's a Lancashire lad, he should know how that should be turned out.
And the fact that he could not cook any of the vegetables on that plate, for me, it was a serious, serious disappointment.
It's nerve-wracking, especially when you get negative feedback. I'd say I'm at risk. Yeah, definitely.
So who's going to stay, who's going to go?
I know who I think should go.
Well done. First round out of the way. The first rounds are always the most nervous.
The chef that is leaving us is... Mark.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I've been given a great opportunity. Pretty gutted, feel like I've blown it, but I'll take the positives away.
Well done. You've survived. But let me warn you, what comes next is going to test you. We've got 4 left. What skills test are you going to set them?
I'd like them to build us a croquembouche. It's a layered profiterole cake.
OK, 20 minutes. Let's see you do it.
First thing, get my caramel on.
So dry caramel, no liquid at all, you just melt the sugar.
Exactly. We have some creme pat mix.
If their hands are shaking, it's going to take them 20 minutes to fill the buns.
You need to be very careful when handling caramel. Very, very hot. Ideally, they should have 2 caramels going.
1 caramel to put on the top of the buns, the other caramel to act like glue to hold them together.
Yes. We've got the croquembouche mould here. We're going to start building.
So the buns have got to stick to each other, not to the mould.
That's right.
Monica, this thing is appearing in minutes. Were you not good enough to become a pastry chef?
Like you weren't good enough to become a hairdresser.
Very impressive. Yay!
We're leaving the mould in there because it needs time to set.
Oh. I love it when you do this.
Sugar work, precision and timing.
It's beautiful, Monica. Beautiful.
20 minutes to build a croquembouche, that's a serious task.
Let's see if they can do it.
Whew, this will be exciting.
First up is head chef Darren, who had an impressive start with his signature dish.
MasterChef Skills Test. If I'm honest, this is the round I'm dreading the most. Because you either know it or you don't. There's nowhere to hide, there's just you, Monica and Gregg.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good.
We want you to fill those choux buns and make us a croquembouche. Have you made one before?
No, never.
Do you reckon you can make a decent fist of it?
I'll give it a go, we'll see.
Off you go, mate, 20 minutes. You are still visibly shaking. Have you done a fair bit of pastry before?
I've done quite a bit of pastry, but I've never done anything like this.
Coming together, chef, isn't it?
Starting to.
Feeling better?
Yeah, a bit. Starting to get a bit more confident.
All done.
I don't think I'm going to be worrying any French patisserie chefs with that.
Not bad for shaky hands, though. But it should be done like so. That way you would have enough buns to go all the way up to the top. And the other thing, Darren, is it's not enough caramel actually holding the buns together. All right?
I'll tell you what, that's not the greatest croquembouches I've ever seen, but I think you're making huge progress. You were shaking, but you were shaking a lot less than you were the last time we saw you. That's progress, Darren. Off you go.
I give it my best. It wasn't a complete failure, but it's not my best work.
Head chef Brian's escalates dish showed real potential, but there were errors.
I've still got a lot to prove to them. I certainly wouldn't see myself as a strong favourite yet or anything. The skills is definitely the curveball for me. So it's time to pull my socks up and get on with it.
Brian, what we want you to do is fill those choux buns and make us a croquembouche.
Okay.
You've got 20 minutes, chef. Off you go, my friend. Do you do much pastry?
Quite like pastry, yeah.
What is it you like about it?
I like how exact it is. You know, everything's for a reason.
You managed to fill all of those in under 5 minutes.
Is that extra points? No? It's coming, just very slowly. More spoons in here than caramel.
You've got 5 minutes left, chef.
Okay.
Racing now.
That's it.
See if we can reach the summit before sunset. You all done, chef?
All done, yeah.
Well done.
I'm happy I got to the top, but it's a little bit rough. I'd like to have been a bit neater.
My concern is the caramel, which you've dipped, is all sort of stuck to the mould. What you should have done is use the caramel as a glue to hold everything together. So it holds, and when you remove the mould, it's not going to collapse.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Off you go, mate.
Thank you. Don't know if I'd call it a success. I do pastry and I do enjoy it, but certainly Croquembouche is not something that would appear on my menu.
Sous chef Ollie's signature dish earned praise from the judges, even though his beurre blanc split opinion.
I have been put on the spot throughout my career, and you just have to grasp that and take it in and try and create the best dish that I can.
All right, Ollie.
Yep.
What we want you to do is make us a croquembouche.
I've not assembled one, but I've made plenty of profiteroles in my time and filled them.
Excellent.
20 minutes. Off you go, chef. Have you done much pastry in the past?
In my previous work placements, I've actually took control of a pastry section.
You've had 5 minutes.
Thank you.
You're halfway. You've still got 6 minutes, chef. All right.
Thank you.
All done?
All done.
I commend your initiative. You use the inside of the mould to build your croquembouche, which is possible. However, instead of really stuffing them in, take care in placing them gently in there. And I thought you were going to drizzle lots of lovely chocolate on there instead of dabbing it on the side. Lovely caramel decoration.
I've seen something comparable on the edge of Pisa. Cheers, Ollie. Off you go. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's a crash-on bush, isn't it?
I'd like to think that being a younger chef, I've got a lot more room for improvement.
Head chef Justin was criticised for the fish preparation in his signature dish.
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Hopefully it's an ingredient or something I've done before and I can really smash it.
We're going to give you 20 minutes to make us a croquembouche.
I've done a little bit of work with pastry sort of thing, but we'll see how we go sort of thing. Hopefully we'll be able to do it.
Right, off you go. You've got one wet caramel there and one dry one. Can I ask you why?
I'm just going to do the dry as a backup as well, just to make sure.
Nice.
Five minutes gone. Oh, mate, it's the second time you've banged into it. Right, take a breath, okay? All is not lost. You've got 4 minutes left. All done?
I think so. I'll let you decide.
I think you were doing quite well till you fell over.
Yeah, it looks a bit of a mess, but that cannot be helped once you've knocked it. But you got back in there, we kept going, and I like that you attempted some sugar work.
No one's going home at this stage. You have another opportunity to shine.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Off you go, Justin.
Thank you.
A little bit annoyed with myself. I made a silly mistake. I caught the mould when I was building the Croquembouche itself. Just wish I hadn't caught it. It's showing its full presentation off.
This was never going to be an easy skills test, but I'm pleased to see that the 4 chefs that were here did manage to give us something at the end.
They have, of course, got another test to go with Marcus. An old kitchen term, this, but it's out the frying pan and into the fire.
Marcus Waring was one of the youngest chefs in the country to gain a Michelin star. The second came soon after.
To get a Michelin star when you're 25 is just insane. That takes some serious hard work and a lot of dedication.
A lot of his dishes are inspired by his commitment to using the best of British ingredients.
There's nothing on there for show. Everything from beef fillet to carrots are just as important. If the flavour's not there, then Marcus isn't interested.
Quail is something that I use on my menu all of the time. Fantastic bird. It's got a really, really delicate flavour, but it's how you treat it and what you put with it is what counts. The dish that I'm going to be making today is going to be quail, and that's going to be served with nettle pesto, a little bit of bacon and some radicchio, finished with a sauce made from the bones and pine nuts. All the trimmings are going to go into making the sauce. I'm trying to leave as much of the skin on the bird as I possibly can. The more skin I leave on the bird, the more it protects the meat. There's his little liver, there's his little heart. What happens if you leave them in? They become bitter.
The quail are poached in a rosemary, thyme and bay leaf infused chicken stock.
What we're going to do now is we're going to take it off the bone, cut down the centre of the breast. A nice, beautiful round shape, but that's what I'm looking for.
After, they are bathed in an aromatic marinade.
They're just sitting there in their own little jacuzzi, just chilling out. So we're now going to make a nettle pesto. These are what you used to walk by in the park when you were a kid in your shorts, and you'd be jumping all over the place because they were stinging, and that is what it is. It's a stinging nettle, but we're going to blanch them, and it's going to take away the sting.
Once the nettle pesto is made, the next stage is the sauce.
Sauces, I think, are one of the hardest things to make in a kitchen. The importance of this is not about 2, 3, 4 pints of sauce. It's about the little pan of sauce, but it's got great flavour. And we're going to reduce that down, and then eventually it'll end up in that little pan there. And it's the finishing of the dish. It's the last bit that goes on the plate. So just take the quail, but I just want to keep it on the skin. Just to get a nice crispness. A little bit of red kale. And now we're going to dress the plate. Spread that over the dish. Have a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And that's our quail.
Marcus's creation is poached aromatic quail breast, served with nettle pesto, crispy bacon and radicchio, finished with a quail sauce and pine nuts.
This is what I've done with the quail. I really want to see them get inspired, see what they're capable of doing, and bring something really good and flavoursome together. As you can see in front of you, you've got 2 quails. I want you to create a beautiful dish. Behind us, fantastic bowl of stinging nettles here, baby artichokes, bowl of basil, baby carrots, bread,
herbs, doesn't get any better. I want you to use your imagination, your skill, but show us what type of chef you are.
You've got 10 minutes to come and select your ingredients and then 1 hour to make a beautiful quail dish. Up you come.
Very interesting, very excited. Hopefully we can do something that Marcus and Greg like.
There's a lot to pick from, there's just so much going through my head, but try not to baffle myself with too many options.
Ingredients here are absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to see the nettles. Used them before.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing and looking forward to this one.
This is your last chance to impress. At the end of this, Marcus and Monica will make a decision on who's staying and who goes.
Chefs, you've got 1 hour. Start cooking.
I like to be a planner. I like to have everything planned out so we know exactly what we're doing. But this isn't a normal environment. This does strange things to the mind, so hopefully we'll get on all right.
Justin, you all right?
Very good,
Nerves
chef.
are good? Under
We'll
control?
see. Hopefully, we'll see.
Tell me the dish, what are you doing?
Pan-roasted quail with a little bit of honey and lemon. Then going to do some little lightly pickled vegetables, different coloured beetroots, a little bit of carrot.
We've got a bit of a sweet and sour going on here. Is this a
Hopefully.
starter, main course?
Starter. It'll be a nice little salady starter, roast quail.
Okay.
You a fan of quail?
Yeah, I've used it a little bit. I think it's really simple. We've got to keep it nice and pink so it doesn't overcook. That's the real pressure point.
Is he talking like a chef?
It's talking like he's fighting. He's fighting. He's on form today.
I love what Justin's doing. The leg, he's going to deep fry it in breadcrumbs. That's going to be a beautiful texture to this dish. Sweet and sour, he's going to have to be careful. You do not want to overpower that delicate flavour, so I hope he doesn't camouflage it too much.
Ollie,
Hi there, chef.
what are you doing?
I'm going to be sous vide the breast, roasting the legs. I'm going to do them with some roasted new potatoes and a cream-based nettle velouté.
With this dish, are you falling back on your experience of where you've come from, what you've cooked before?
There is a couple of components that I've not done in this dish before. My velouté.
Okay.
Every time I get the opportunity to cook for you, I will just give you a little bit more.
I like that.
Ollie, he's really driving hard. I can see he's determined. He wants to get through to the next round. He's roasting the legs. He's got a little bit of classic cookery there. I love the idea of the sauce. He's the only one using nettles. That will taste really good.
I'm just a bit concerned about everything else that's going with the quail. Roast potatoes, wild mushrooms, griddled spring onions. I'm not sure he's thought about how it all works together.
I've always got that cog turning in my brain that's going to, thinking of new ideas, new combinations, and how things are going to look on the plate, how they're going to eat as well. I would call myself, quite an inventive chef.
You're halfway. 30 minutes left.
I've not yet hit my stride. The nerves have played a part, but you can't use that as an excuse every round. So I think this round, the nerves have got to disappear, and you've got to start to show what you're about.
Quail again?
Yeah, I've been blessed. It's one of my favourite meats. It suits a lot of clean flavours, my kind of style of cooking. I like clean flavours on a plate, and hopefully I can get them all to sing today.
What's the name of the dish? What are you calling it?
I'm just going to do roast quail. I'm going to sous vide the breasts. I'm going to do some spring vegetables, some little fondant potatoes, and a carrot puree and a quail jus. I think whoever makes a mistake is going home, and I'm not planning on making one today.
Ooh, you're growing into this competition, chef.
I'm getting there.
Darren looks very relaxed today. He's fighting, he's looking confident. Darren's fondants. He submerged the things completely in butter. And they've got beautiful garlic and rosemary in there as well. They just look fantastic.
I like the sound of what Darren's got over there. He's got some nice veg. He's making a sauce. It just worries me that he's attempting far too much in 1 hour. You've now got 20 minutes left.
I'm happiest working with fish. That's what I do day in, day out. Then again, I maybe need to show something else to Marcus. I need to stand out today. I've got to do it. I've just got to go in and smash it.
Brian, I'm sure you'd prefer a nice piece of fish sat in front of you right now.
I'd love to have seen a bit of fish today, yeah, but I've got to show that I'm adaptable, I can do more.
Where's your quail?
The breasts are still on the bone in the water bath. I'm confident off the legs, so we've got 2 sort of different textures.
And then what?
A little carrot puree. Got some nice sort of sweet pickled carrots. The mushrooms, some nice artichokes.
Is this a dish you've done before?
No.
It's completely new?
Yeah. This is do or die for me today. I've got to deliver.
You've got to cook out your skin.
Yeah.
Brian, quite interesting. He sous vide the breast. But he's taken the legs and he's dropped them into the deep fat fryer. I've never seen that ever, where you deep fry any legs of any bird at all. Not unless it's been cooked first or it's had some form of marinade. I'm scared. I'm a bit worried about that because that's just going to taste like a deep fat fryer.
But he's got some delightful things going on with it. Not least that marvellous artichoke that he's cooking. And a carrot puree. You've got 10 minutes left.
They feel a lot more confident. There's a bit of a spring in their step. I am loving what these cooks are doing.
I think it's time to bring this together. 5 minutes, please. Time's up. Stop.
With his quail, Darren has chosen to roast the breast and braise the leg. It's served with fondant potato, baby vegetables, a carrot puree, and a quail jus.
Wow, that has brought the dish to life, hasn't it? Look at this beautiful shine on that sauce. Well done.
Thanks, Chef.
Darren, that is a very, very well executed dish.
Thanks, Chef.
The puree may have been a slight little bit over-seasoned for my liking, but the crispiness of the bacon, the cooking of the quail, the beautifully sautéed mushrooms, that fantastic shiny sauce, I just think it's brilliant. I really do.
Happy?
I'm going to go back for more.
Mate, I was hooked with the first bite. The sauce has such depth of flavour. Your potatoes are buttery. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
Kept true to myself and true to the flavours, and it paid off. Managed to control the nerves and the cooking just took over.
Ollie has poached, then pan-fried the quail breasts and roasted the legs, which he served with char-grilled spring onion, roasted new potatoes, wild mushrooms, and a nettle veloute.
I like all the ingredients you've put on there. I think the concept is absolutely marvellous. But I find the sauce too salty and the quail's losing its moistness.
The cooking of the quail, you can see the heat that you had in the pan. You've slightly let yourself down, Ollie. The nettle sauce doesn't taste of nettles at all. It tastes of over-seasoned chicken stock.
I took my eye off the sauce a couple of minutes and it's
yeah.
a bit too far.
I'm glad you said that. You've identified it, you've admitted it. The question is, should you have put it on the plate?
No.
It's so frustrating because the technique, if you'd have got it right, you'd have had a knockout dish here.
I know I can do better. I lost that concentration just for a few seconds and it clearly shows. Hopefully if I do make it to the next round, then that won't be happening again.
Brian has sous vide then roasted his quail breasts and deep fried the legs, alongside carrot puree, wild mushrooms, sweet pickled carrots, spring onions, and ham-poached artichokes.
What's the idea that you've got the dish on half of the plate and not the other half?
Quite like having it more to one side. I kind of think it draws your eye to it.
I'd have thought in Scotland they'd say, where's the rest of my dish? I'm not so sure about deep-fried quail leg. This leg is incredibly dry. The breast is cooked nicely, very nice. It's still got a lovely pinkness to it. I do like the flavour of the artichoke. I think the cooking in the stock has really brought the flavour out. And the carrots, I think you've got the nice balance between the sweet and the sour. It's a dish I would eat.
I find the breast beautifully moist. I love the way you cook the vegetables. You cook those with a lot of care. But the legs are a bit dry and there's not enough puree for me.
There was a few mistakes, but maybe trying a little bit too much, which normally isn't really what I would do. I hope I have proved the point, yeah.
Finally, Justin has chosen to pan-roast the quail breasts and panade and deep-fried the legs, which he served with a sweet and sour beetroot and carrot salad.
It's really not that good. Those breasts are undercooked.
Sorry.
It could have been a great dish. You had some beautiful ingredients here.
I love the idea of the beetroot and the little bit of pickling, the sharpness I like. I love your crunchy legs. However, the quail's not cooked very well, and for me, it's too sweet.
Sort of the old school report, must try harder next time. If there's a next time.
I genuinely thought I had it. I thought it was there, but obviously it wasn't. Just a mistake, which you can't do at this level.
So, we've seen our 4 chefs.
Generally, overall, very, very good. Darren, he took a dish today and took it to another level. He'd taken the quail, he'd taken off the bone, the legs he cooked beautifully well, he did these amazing fondants. But Monica, he made a stunning sauce. When I poured it over, the dish just went...
His croquembouche, he'd never made one before. However, he didn't give up. And I think because he was very strong in the first round, I do have quite a bit of confidence in him.
Whether I go home or stay, I couldn't have done any more. I'm happy with my dish. So, yeah, it's a good day.
Justin's skills test with the croquembouche, he attempted to be different because he wanted to dip the buns in chocolate and then got quite nervous, knocked the mould.
Oh, mate.
But fair game to him, he attempted some sugar work. There's skills there to be seen.
But with me today, the breasts were undercooked. The presentation wasn't good at all. The idea was good, but the dish was very, very average.
I feel I haven't done myself justice, but that's just the way it is, you know. I've undercooked the quail, Marcus won't be happy.
Brian had never made a croquembouche before, and he dipped the buns in the caramel, but then stuck them all on the mould.
Oh dear.
And he did get very flustered when he was making his caramel. He was getting spoons stuck in there. We had more spoons than caramel in the pan at one point.
Wow. Today, we did something like I've never seen before in my life.
What's that?
He deep-fried the quail leg. But it was a nice dish. It looked really good. He dressed it unbelievably delicate. The vegetable cookery was excellent. I'm not so sure about the quail legs, though.
Still pretty worried about my position. The other boys in there have done pretty well, so it's too early to relax yet.
Ollie, when he came to make his croquembouche, he decided to use the inside of the mould. And it would have worked, however, he took the buns and just really shoved them inside. He then took the mould off and leant like the Tower of Pisa.
Ollie today had the makings and the ingredients of a great dish. But Monica, I couldn't believe he put the quail legs into a very, very hot pan. He might as well have put it on a barbecue. And he talked about this amazing nettle sauce, and the execution was just not good at all.
To hear the verdict, I will be a little bit shaky in the knees, but I'm keeping my fingers and toes crossed that I can scrape my way through.
I think there's some potential here. But we've got to lose one today.
There are a couple who are really exciting me and could have a really great future, but there's two of them that are scaring me. They're not quite driving hard enough. I'm just looking for more. Really, really enjoyed watching you cook. Great job. Well done, guys. Unfortunately, one of you is going to have to leave the competition. The chef that's leaving us is Justin.
Everyone makes mistakes. I've made some today and it's cost me, so, you just got to roll with the punches and hopefully, carry on.
Well done, guys. You are our quarterfinalists.
Thought I was on the firing line. Very pleased to get through to the quarterfinals. Yeah, feeling very happy inside.
Really looking forward to it now. Competition heats up. Time to push on. Very happy. I almost smiled.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's hard to put it into words. There's just lots of emotions going on. It's only going to get tougher, but very excited to come back and cook again.
Next time,
Help.
5 more chefs will battle it out to impress the judges.
Come on, I want me pineapple.
Panic.
You can cook. That tastes good.
Only the best will remain in the competition.
I don't even think there's a lot of point tasting it, to be honest.